1, Cullinan David. 2, Cummins John. 3, Butler Mary. 4, Dean McGuinness Conor. Thank you to all the candidates, to all the staff at SCTU, to the account staff and all of those that have assisted over the last
and heard it there, Jordan. Scenes of has done something extraordinarily historic and 90 for Sinn Féin in the West. And for Sinn Féin took that first seat. John Cummins second seat here in the Waterford constituency. And after a very long wait, Conor McGinness has taken that fourth seat. I know that we'll be running down shortly to speak with both Conor McGinness and Matt Shanahan. It'll be a tough day for Matt Shanahan. Nothing was guaranteed. He entered politics as a local councillor in 2018. 2020 he was elected as a TD, and this will be a tough day for Matt Shanahan and his team.
It will be a tough day for Matt Shanahan and his team, but Dimfna, just finally, this is momentous for Sinn Féin. They had the ambition to run two candidates in Waterford, and it has paid off. 2 Sinn Féin seats in Waterford. That is really, really a turn up for the books here. It's
a huge turn up for the books. Had it been 2 city-based people running forward as candidates, then I definitely would have raised an eyebrow and said this is far too ambitious. And it was always a risk that, I mean, David Cullinan last time out, we saw him have 20,000 or so first preferences. This was going to damage his first preference vote. There was no denying that. But they have focused very much on the city. They have focused separately very much on the West. They have probably arguably done what other parties should have done, and that gamble has paid off. It is a good day locally and nationally for Sinn Féin, and Conor McGinness is down there with his family, I can see on the live stream, and you can visit WLRFM.com to have a look at those scenes. He is a very happy man there with his family and the very wider constituents who are members of Sinn Féin.
Absolutely. Well, for anybody who wants to see all the latest developments from the Count Centre, Conor McGinness is the 4th and final TD elected to serve Waterford in the 34th Dáil. Dimfna Nugent, thank you very much. And of course, if you want to keep up to date with anything from the general election, join our live stream across all of our platforms, and we'll be back with more on air at 6 o'clock.
Thank you, Jordan.
Yeah, good to go. Okay, huge scenes of jubilation here at the Count Centre. Waterford has elected its 4 TDs, taking that 4th seat and taking 2 seats for Sinn Féin. Conor McGinness. Conor, huge congratulations. What's your reaction?
Thank you very much. I'm delighted. This has been a huge day and a huge election for Sinn Féin, not just here in Waterford where we've broken ground. Between David and myself, we took a third of the vote. 1 in 3 voters here in Waterford put their trust in Sinn Féin and voted for change of government, and we've delivered here and we've taken the 2nd seat. Huge election across the state, but a huge election here in Waterford, and a vindication of a huge amount of work, a lot of work that David has been doing, a lot of work that our council group has done, and indeed an awful lot of work that generations of Republicans here have been doing over many, many decades. And I'm thinking tonight in particular of dear departed comrades and friends who aren't with us. Many, many, many of them who've over decades put their shoulder to the wheel and brought us to this point.
And you really issued a rallying call, Conor, to the people of West Waterford to elect a TD for West Waterford. This is clearly a message which has resonated with them.
Well, we have a fantastic TD in David Cullinan, who's been doing work single-handedly for Waterford, I would say, for the last number of years. And now we have a strong team of 2, and we have representation across city and county. So we're going to work very hard, David and myself as a team, making sure that Waterford is looked after, making sure that we're standing up for Waterford at the national level.
David, you now have a colleague at a Waterford Sinn Féin TD. How does that feel?
Emotional, it has to be said. I remember my first election campaign in 2002, and it was a battle to try and get whatever votes we could as a start. At the time, Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael had probably 70% of the vote between them. And for me to stand here now with Conor McGinness and have 2 Sinn Féin TDs, and Conor was a fantastic candidate in his own right. He won the seat in his own right. He has a great team of people behind him in West Waterford. Donegal Mulcahy was a brilliant addition to us on the council, and Lismore, but Conor McGinness was a phenomenal candidate. And I knew when people could see how good Conor was that he would pull in a huge vote in West Waterford and Dungarvan, and he did. And I'm just so proud of him, proud of all of our team, everybody that came out and worked for Sinn Féin. And I dedicate the 2 seats to Jerry Carroll, who was one of our stalwarts who passed away a couple of months ago, and he'd be delighted if he was here now.
And of course, this isn't possible, David and Conor, without all those stalwarts. It's clear to see all of the support that's here. Councillor Joanne Bailey, Michael Doyle did so much on the campaign. Michael, a huge result for Sinn Féin in Waterford.
I'd just say something about Michael first, because Michael is the best director of elections you could possibly ever have. When I was first elected in 2016, it was down to Michael Doyle. When we took the seat the last time in the huge vote, a big part of it was down to Michael Doyle. And he can take huge pride in the 2 seats being won today, because to have someone like him behind the scenes, we give him a lot of grief, as you do when somebody's at the top. But what a phenomenal work ethic that Michael has, and I just have to pay tribute to him. He's just fantastic.
How do I come back after that, Ciaran? Look, I'm a horse now myself. Look at the crowd behind us. This is Sinn Féin in Waterford, all across the county. We now have 2 Sinn Féin TVs, and we're not going away. We're going to get stronger and stronger and stronger.
Well, huge scenes. I'm sure the celebrations are going to continue. The 4 seats have now been filled here in Waterford. David Culnan and Conor McGinness, along of course with Mary Butler and John Cummins. We're going to bring you a wrap-up summary in a few minutes along with Dimfna Nugent, so do stay with us on our live stream.